In the stillness of a quiet neighborhood, there stood a modest home. Warm light glowed from the windows, but inside, not everything was warm. At that very window stood Clara, a woman in her late 30s. Her eyes carried the weight of choices she wished she had not made years ago. She walked away from the man who loved her, and from the children who called her mother. Now, in the fading light of sunset, she found herself asking the same question every night. Why did I leave? Years earlier, Clara's home had been filled with laughter and love. Daniel, her husband, worked tirelessly to provide. Their children, Emma and Jack, filled the rooms with joy. But Clara, she felt restless. She wanted more than what she had. The sound of her children's play did not ease her heart. The patience in Daniel's voice no longer satisfied her. So one day, without warning, she left. She left the man who held her hand through struggles. She left the children who needed her embrace. She chose herself and walked away. At first, the city welcomed her. The lights, the freedom, the space, that was all her own. She thought she had found happiness. No responsibilities, no children's cries, no tired husband waiting at the door. But silence. Silence became her only companion. The walls echoed with emptiness. The laughter she had once ignored was gone. And though she had chosen this life, each night she wondered, were they better without me, or were they broken? Back at the family home, life went on without her. Daniel became both father and mother. He learned to braid Emma's hair, to check Jack's drawings, to cook simple meals after long days of work. The children missed their mother. They asked about her sometimes, their small voices carrying questions Daniel could not answer. He only said, "She still loves you, even if she is far away." And so, in that little home, they grew without Clara's arms, but with Daniel's quiet strength. Years passed, like chapters in a book Clara had not read. One afternoon, she found herself outside a cafe. Through the window, she saw them, Daniel, Emma, and Jack. Her children, no longer little. Her husband, no longer hers. They laughed together, their bond unbroken by her absence. And for the first time in years, Clara's heart ached in a way she could not ignore. She had left them behind, but they had kept moving forward. She pressed her hand against the glass, whispering softly, "That was supposed to be me." In her apartment, Clara kept a drawer filled with what she once ignored. Old letters, birthday cards drawn with crayon, words of love written by tiny hands. She had pushed them aside, telling herself she was too busy, too far away, too tired. Now, those same letters whispered back to her, each one a reminder of what she abandoned. She pressed a faded drawing to her chest, sobbing quietly. Her children had once begged her not to leave, and she had walked away anyway. Regret was no longer a shadow. It was her only companion. The city that once felt alive now only reminded Clara of what she lost. On rainy evenings, she watched families rush past her, mothers holding their children close, fathers sharing laughter under umbrellas. Each face reminded her of her own children's smiles. Each laugh reminded her of the warmth she had traded for silence. She whispered to herself, "I chose freedom, but I chained myself instead." And as she walked alone in the rain, Clara realized nothing in the world could replace the love she left behind. Inside the home she had left, life bloomed in its own way. Emma had grown into a young woman with music in her fingers. Jack, now taller, filled pages with his sketches and dreams. Daniel, though older and weary, carried pride in his eyes. He had raised them with patient hands, with sacrifices Clara would never see. The children no longer cried for their mother at night. Instead, they leaned on the man who never left. The family she abandoned had become stronger without her. One evening, Clara found herself at a school auditorium. Music drifted into the night air, drawing her inside. And there, on the stage, was Emma. Her daughter's hands moved gracefully across the piano, filling the hall with beauty. In the crowd, Jack cheered. Daniel clapped proudly. Clara stood at the doorway, unseen, trembling with tears. She had missed every recital, every milestone, every moment that had shaped them. And now, she was only a stranger in the shadows, watching a life that no longer needed her. Asterisk at dusk, Clara sat in a quiet park, a faded photograph in her hand. Asterisk it showed a family that once was hers. Daniel's tired smile, her children's bright eyes. Asterisk her own laughter. Frozen in time, a young couple passed by with their toddler, their voices filled with joy. Clara lowered her head, pressing the photo to her heart. She realized she had traded years she could never return. Her children had grown, their memories of her blurred. Asterisk and no matter how much she wished, the past could not be rewritten. One day, news reached Clara. Daniel had been hurt at work. Asterisk it wasn't life-threatening, but he was taken to the hospital. Asterisk for hours, she sat in the waiting room, her hands trembling, her heart raced with guilt and fear. Would he hate her if he saw her? Asterisk, would the children turn away? Asterisk, she was the one who walked out. Asterisk, did she have the right to return now? Asterisk, and yet, something inside her whispered, this may be your last chance to make things right. Through the half-open door, she saw him. Asterisk, Daniel lay in the hospital bed, his face pale, his hair grayer than she remembered. Time had marked him. Years of labor, years of carrying burdens alone. Asterisk, and still, even in sleep, he looked strong. Clara's breath caught in her throat. This was the man she had left behind. Asterisk, the man who never left their children. Her eyes blurred with tears. How foolish she had been, to trade his steady love for an empty freedom. Then came the footsteps she both longed for and feared. Asterisk, Emma and Jack appeared, older now, stronger. Emma carried fruit for her father. Jack brought along his jacket. They stopped when they saw her. Their eyes widened with surprise, confusion, maybe even hurt. Clara froze, unable to speak. Her children stood before her, no longer the little ones she once cradled. Asterisk, and in their silence, she realized they had built a life without her, a life where she was no longer needed. Asterisk later that night, Clara sat in the hospital garden. Asterisk, the cool air brushed against her tear-stained face. Asterisk, her heart was heavy with words she had never spoken. Asterisk, then Emma came. Asterisk, she sat beside her mother quietly, her eyes searching. Clara's lips trembled. I'm sorry, she whispered. Asterisk, it was selfish. I left when you needed me most. Asterisk, I cannot undo the past, but I never stopped loving you. Asterisk, Emma's silence was long, her young face unreadable, but finally, she spoke softly. We learned to forgive, even if we can't forget. Asterisk, the next morning, the family stepped out into the fresh light of dawn. Asterisk, Daniel in a chair, Emma guiding him, Jack close by, Asterisk and a few steps behind. Clara, she was not yet forgiven. She was not yet theirs again. Asterisk, but she was there. Asterisk, and sometimes, being there is the first step toward healing. Asterisk, the sun rose, warm and gentle, painting the sky with hope. Clara knew the road ahead would be long, but for the first time in years, she walked not away, but toward them.